One of the hardest parts of music production is creating a really nice chord progression and lead progression that plays together really well. But in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how you can build this. We're gonna break down the chord progression, the melody layers, and practical tips so that you can use in your own songs to make your chord progressions a lot better. Let's listen to our first chord progression. We have a set of leads that play on top, and we have the chord progression, and we also have the syncopated sound over here. So let's get started here first with the chords. Let's even take the syncopated away so we can only listen to the chords. We play here two sets of chords. We play chords that have thirds, and we have power chords that play tone, fifth, and tone again. But even though we are in C major, we can see that we're starting with a D, and that sometimes is really cool because you're taking the obvious away. That would be, if you're in C major, start with C major. So we're starting with something different, as you can listen. Playing tone, fifth, and third, but the third is an octave up, just to create a bit more interest in there. And then we move here into an F chord, but we don't say if this is an F minor or major chord because we're not using the third here. We go back here to using a C major chord then. We can see they're using the third again up. To finish everything, we're playing the G, but again, we're not saying if this is a G major or a G minor chord because we're not playing the third here. But now let's add the syncopated notes. Adding the syncopated notes, we're adding more textures into these layers. And if you see this, while we're playing a fifth. This one, we're also playing a fifth. And the third one, we're also playing a fifth, as you can see it over here. But in the last one, to create a bit more of an emotional ending, we're playing the third here. We're playing a major chord, so that's how it sounds like. And this not only makes the chords more moody, but it also gives a bit of rhythm to them. Listen again without the rhythm. It's nice, but it doesn't have anything to flow. When we have this one, it kind of creates a rhythm to us, which is really nice to listen to. Now let's talk about the melody. And if you listen over here to the melody, what is dictating that we're in C? The melody here starts in C, so we already set the tone that we're in C major. That's why we're playing this here. We play G, which is the fifth, to kind of bring it home, but also to make it more interesting by using the seventh. Then we're using the second over here. So you can use in your melodies a variation of the second, the fifth, the seventh, the fourth, the sixth. Sometimes that's really cool. Even using the third sometimes is really cool, as you can listen. Fifth tone second. Fifth tone seventh, sixth, seventh, and you can see how combining the third over here with the syncopated and the sixth and the seventh over here, it just creates a lot of melodic content into it and just colors your progression with the melody that not only plays the tone, not only plays the third or the fifth, but also play different notes like the second, the fourth, the sixth, and the seventh as well. So simple chord structure, syncopated rhythm to create a bit of energy, but moving the third to create a bit of coloring, and also using the melody to create a bit more color into the sound. Now let's go into our next chord. Second chord progression, and we start with something different over here. This time we're using here a theme or an atmosphere right away, and it sounds like this. can see that the chords mainly harmonizes whatever we're doing here with the theme, but let's get started and look at the theme first. So that's what we're going to begin with. Starting here with the theme, that's what we're playing at the moment. We play a variation of tone, fifth, and tone again. And we don't only play here in 1/8, because if you only played 1/8, it would be slightly boring. Just so you can take a listen, just creating a variation. Bum, 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 bum. It's a bit too boring. So we use a little bit of 1/16 notes as well. So you can see that it creates a bit of rhythm when we play this note and this note. Bum, ba-dum, 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 bum. That's where it creates rhythm and groove into this lead. And we play this over and over and over until the end of a progression. The only thing that we change afterwards, it's the chords. So let's go into the chords. Now, looking into our chord progression, what are we doing here? We're playing F, G, and then we're ending in D. But because we have the lead here playing that starts in D and plays D all the time, we're primed to be in D Dorian. We're not in D minor, we're in D Dorian. I'm gonna show you the difference afterwards. First, what are we doing? Tone, fifth, and third over here. Just pretty much a triad, but we're putting the third an octave up to give a bit more of an emotional feeling to it. The second note is just a tone, fifth, and tone, a power chord. And we're doing the same thing in the third chord, but we're adding this fifth over here to kind of give this home feeling to it and make it more powerful. It resolves really nicely in D, where the lead is also playing. But in the second part, we do a variation. We add here not only tone, fifth, third, we also have the fifth over here, doing another note to bring more emotions into this feeling, as you can listen. And you can see that the second chord we're adding here, instead of a tone, fifth, tone, now we also have a third. But because we're using Dorian, let's look at how this would be if we were using minor. It sounds a bit sad, doesn't it? Dorian gives that happy feeling, especially for the second, the fourth, and sometimes the sixth chord as well, because we're putting it a semitone up. And then we resolve it again, ending it in our home base, which is D. So first time we just give it a little bit of a ambiguous note to the G because we're not revealing if this is minor or major. And then in the second part, we're giving it the flavor, the Dorian feeling, the emotional feeling of the chord progression, which is being complemented with that third and the fifth over here. Now to wrap it up, we activate our lead progression. What can we take from this? Sometimes a good way to start your chord progression is actually starting with your melody. You first create something to ground yourself in, which is the D over here, and then you build your chord progression around it. Because this way, again, you not only have to start in the main chord, the D, you can sometimes start in the third and then move to the fourth and then go back to the D, resolving everything and giving that home feeling. And lastly, giving that additional variation, giving that Dorian vibe, just makes the minor, which would be a bit too sad, a bit happier. Still giving a moody vibe, but a moody and happier vibe, which is what we're doing with the Dorian over here. This chord progression is also super cool because instead of playing notes that you just hold, we play a lot of different notes within the same bars, as you can listen here. We're playing a G sharp Lydian scale, and we start here with the second, third, fifth, and on G sharp. And then here we play second, third, seventh, and then on D sharp again. But let's look at a few aspects of this progression. Let's first look at what we're playing here. So we're playing first a tone, fifth, tone, and the third, tone, fifth, tone, and the third, tone, fifth, tone, and the third. Same thing all over, but in this chord we're doing something different. We're playing tone, fifth, tone, third, fifth again. Listen to how it sounds. Gives us more of like a sad feeling. And the second one, even though we're making notes that play a little bit softer, it gives us a hopeful feeling. It gives us a resolution feeling. And this is really cool because of two things. First, again, we're not starting in our root note. We're starting here by playing second, third, fifth, and then we end in the tone. And in the second progression, we're playing second, third, seventh, and the tone to finish it up. One thing that I really like is this ending over here. When we go up in the progression, normally we get a more soothing feeling, a hopeful feeling. When we go down, sometimes we get a sad feeling, like this one. But the notes that we're playing also influence in what we're doing. Again, here we're playing tone fifth, tone third, tone fifth, tone third. But in this one, we're playing tone sixth, tone, and then the third. So again, we're already giving another taste and ending in a tone fifth, tone third. If this was a fifth, and now playing with a sixth, it gives a warmer feeling in this end. Now, in the second part, we play pretty much the same thing, but we add more notes over here. We can see that you also add these two notes. What are these? These are essentially just complements of whatever we had before. This is the seventh and also the third. So if you play it, and this gives an even more hopeful feeling, different than we had before. Even though we're going down, the notes that we're playing, because we're still going up over here, we're still getting that hopeful emotion. Which sounds really nice. And when we end this, now we get a sad feeling because this is going up and suddenly it goes down. But this is a really nice contrast from the beginning. You can start with a hopeful feeling and then end with a more sad feeling, or you can do the opposite, start sad and then end up hopeful, which is normally what I personally prefer. But the important thing is that here you get a variation of what you had before, and the chord progression is not the same all over. But how can we get this sad to hopeful feeling that we're doing before? If you look into the notes here, we're playing something a lot different. First, we're playing a progression up, almost like a lead. Adding this additional note, and here we're almost like playing a lead. Building up where we left off. And this last note just gives a more sad feeling because we were going so far up that when we go down, it kind of feels like we're losing energy, like we're losing that hope. So you can stay in one key and get totally different feelings. Even in the same progression, you can get something that starts hopeful and then feels sad, or sad and hopeful at the same time. Where you start, where you land, the notes that you use play a big role in the melody and the emotion that you're evoking in your chords. And this is really important because chord progressions are all about emotion, right? And if you want more progressions, more melodies, and full projects like this one, you can check the pack, the Melodies MIDI pack that is available here in the description below, so you can start learning from them and you can start applying this to your own tracks as well. This is Lil already from Abstract Music Lab signing off. Ciao.